What's going on, everybody? It's Craig with Shipley Transport. Welcome back to the channel. Today is day 4 of your average HotShot week. So far, we've been bouncing around the country, talking about the different loads, different freight, obviously loads of freight, and the different rates we've been pulling. If you follow along, then yesterday we were in St. Cloud, Minnesota, and today we are in St. Cloud, Minnesota. Did a big old circle today. So yesterday we were in St. Cloud. We had one stop here in Minnesota, then we had another stop in Oaks, North Dakota. Thankfully, another day where I was able to find a load this morning. Right after I made my first stop here in Minnesota, called a broker, found a load going back towards the house. Like I was talking about before, I got to be back by the end of the day tomorrow. I got some stuff with the family this weekend. So had unfortunately kind of a long deadhead. That's the second time this week where the deadhead was a little bit longer than I wanted, but got 187 miles of a deadhead. And we picked up a tractor. So it's nothing huge. Looks kind of big, but it's a John Deere 4720. Has a loader on the front. The only reason it's kind of a pain in the butt with the cab on the front and loading it the way that I did with the loader facing forward, it's going to catch some wind. This one, guys, some of you guys are probably going to eat me alive, and that's okay. But a little over 600 miles, and we got 1,100 bucks on it. So definitely not the rate we were looking for. Broker was adamant it's a true partial to them. They didn't care if it went this week or next week or anything like that, but it gets me back towards the house for a decent rate per mile. The whole thing maybe weighs 5,000 pounds. It's real light, real easy to go. So that's just kind of the way it goes. Like I said before, not trying to sugarcoat any of this stuff, not trying to blow smoke, not trying to tell you you're going to make $1 million. Just give it to you exactly how it happens. The other thing that we're doing this week is just kind of a basic topic of conversation. There's been different topics every single day. Today, one of the things that I see online a lot, and I mean a lot, guys, is how do I get into HotShot? This one, I don't want to talk forever, so I'm not going to tell you there's only one way to get into it. I'm not going to tell you that I know the right way or anything like that. I'm just going to give you what I think, in my opinion, would be the best way to go about it. One, because it's the path that I followed, and it really taught me a lot. Two, it seems the most logical in my mind to break into it this way. But what I did was I bought a truck. Didn't have a trailer, didn't have any over-the-road driving experience or anything like that. And I leased on with a company called Indiana Transport. They are based out of Elkhart, Indiana. They do RV transport from the manufacturers up there in Indiana to all the different, not all, but a lot of the different RV dealerships across the country. One of the nice parts about doing it that way is they give you an orientation. They teach you how to run your logbook. They teach you how to keep a binder for inspections, and they give you an introduction to trucking. Excuse me. They are non-CDL and CDL friendly, so you can pull either one. Bumper pulls, you can pull fifth wheels, even without a CDL, as long as the gross vehicle weight rating of the truck plus trailer does not go over 26,000. It teaches you about life on the road. It teaches you how to compare all of your different clocks. Like, I promised this load to Arizona by middle of the day Friday, so I need to make sure I'm on time. They don't open till 8. Or they stop receiving at 10, or whatever the case may be. It makes you pay attention to that stuff while also learning the logbook and how to do things properly. It allows you to get used to being inspected, and it allows you to just get used to everything on the road. Truck stops, rest stops, weigh stations, all of that stuff. I'm not going to promise you it's great money. But to me, it's one of the better ways to get into it, because you're able to pick up a truck for a decent price, and you don't have a whole bunch of stuff invested. You still got to get a DOT physical with your med card, still have to have your basic safety equipment, stuff like that, but it's a good way to get into it. After doing, probably 8 months to a year worth of research into actual HotShot work with a flatbed. Talking and learning from quite a few people on Facebook and just trying to figure out how to actually get into it, I decided that it was best for me to lease onto a company. So I leased on with a gentleman who I mentioned yesterday. His name is Matthew Yingling. He's got a brother named Jeremy. They both, at that point in time, had HotShot companies, and they taught me so much. Between how to book a load, that is one other thing that you can do with the RV transport, is at least through Indiana Transport. I don't know about the other companies. I don't have any experience with that, but they may do these things either the same or differently. I don't know. They teach you how to look at the load board, how to call in and get the load, stuff like that. The one thing they don't teach you is negotiation, which the guy that I leased onto really taught me the art of negotiation when it comes to brokers. Obviously, I'm not great at it, or else I wouldn't be hauling this thing for the rate that I am, but I mean, he taught me quite a bit with that stuff. When you lease on with somebody, especially if they're doing the dispatching for you, you can learn the lanes that you like. Like for me, my personality, I like the Midwest. I'm a Midwest guy when it comes to driving, when it comes to freight and all that fun stuff. I like the weather. I like majority of the roads, I guess. But I like the people. It's just where I'm most comfortable, and I learned that when I was leased onto him. I went East Coast, West Coast, all of that fun stuff, and I just learned which lanes I liked, what roads I liked, where the worst tolls were, where the more expensive fuel was, all that fun stuff. And from there, that's when I decided to open my own company. Shipley Transport started in October of 2019, and we've been going strong ever since. Of course, we started right before the pandemic, so it's been an interesting first year and a half, almost 2 years. Still learning in this industry all the time. Still learning just a lot. So for me, that was the right way to go about getting into it. It allowed me to build up my equipment and stuff like that, and my financial investment slowly without having to go into debt $80,000 into an industry I'd never tried. It also allowed me to learn the laws as I went along, which not always the best case, obviously, but with this industry, I will also say there are so many laws, you're not gonna be an expert day one. Like I said, I've been doing this for quite a few years now, not forever by any means compared to a lot of you guys, but I'm still learning stuff daily. When you're doing your research on different companies and on HotShot and stuff like that, I've heard a couple other guys talk about it, and I would like to stress it as well. Don't pick one guy. Don't do exactly what I do. Don't do exactly what Toe Piglet does. Don't do exactly what HotShot Mac does or anything like that. Figure out what's working for them. Find out whether you can be successful in the same ways, or if your personality is a little bit different, or things that you like are different. Pick what you like from each one of us. Banks Transport is another one. We all have our different way of doing things. We all have our different viewpoints, and like I pointed out in yesterday's video, you may not like me. That's okay. I may not like you. It doesn't really matter. We all have different personalities, and pick and choose what you find to be the best traits and try to apply those to yourselves. There can be a wealth of information out there if you find it in the right spots. The other thing I would recommend is FMCSA, I believe, or DOT or somebody, has an actual safety and regulations book. I'm not going to tell you to read it cover to cover, but flip through it, get to know it, get to understand the laws and regulations before you just hop in a truck and go. There's also a load securement book that a lot of times when you see pictures on Facebook and people bashing on this and that and the other, if the driver would have simply just looked through that book, they would have been able to understand a little bit better on how to secure their loads. Just like always, I like to preach, do things the right way, do things the legal way, and really do your research before you dive into it. So again, that's my opinion on how to get into it. Just a real, very, very basic career path. Started out RVs, non-CDL, went into HotShot, leased onto somebody else, non-CDL, started my own company, again, non-CDL. Now I am still running non-CDL HotShot. I do currently have my CDL, so if I choose to start upgrading even more, I have the ability now. Currently with my equipment and with where we're at financially and stuff like that, this is still the right move for us. Who knows what the future can bring? Who knows, 6 months from now, I could be running a dang Peterbilt with a 53 flat on the back, who knows? But for right now, this is what's worked out best for me. Excuse me. Again, just so I can sound like a broken record, please like, share, subscribe, all of that fun stuff with this video on my channel. I cannot believe the amount of support you guys have given me so far. Really like to keep getting, hopefully, what you consider good information out there. Tomorrow's day 5. We've got a delivery, and we'll do a real solid recap so you guys can know exactly what type of mileage and money we officially pulled by combining all the days. It's been kind of crazy, it's been kind of hectic, but it's been a lot of fun as well. So appreciate you guys joining me for this week. Tomorrow we'll talk, give a recap, and go in and have a great weekend. Really appreciate you guys. Have a great day.